Welcome and good afternoon, team. Good to have your company this Thursday afternoon. I hope your day has been a goodie thus far. The 5th of December, 0800 debate is our number to get in touch. Talk about anything that's coming up this afternoon, anything else you might want to talk about. And also 5050 is the text. You are with me. Leah Panapa, Kelly, producer, is back. Thank goodness. And we'll talk to her shortly. So, yeah, we've got lots to get into today. I'm going to be talking a little later on this afternoon about the fact that Kāinga Ora, who is New Zealand's largest state house provider, is facing criticism for excluding wool carpets from its flooring tender, opting instead for synthetic alternatives due to their lower cost and better durability. The agency, which manages over 75,000 homes, is also planning to add another 2,600 new homes and renew carpets in 3,000 existing homes. So that's a lot of houses that are about to get carpet on them. Well, upgraded. So I'm going to be talking to Bremworth's Chief Executive, Greg Smith. Of course, the wool industry is upset. Federated farmers are upset. But you know what? Sometimes it just comes down to the money. Is it the cost behind this decision? We'll find out. I'll be catching up too with Andrew Hoggard, who's the Associate Agricultural Minister and Minister of Biosecurity. Where are we at with the bird flu? Officials have not yet found any links between a second chicken farm that has been isolated and a poultry farm where bird flu has been identified. But investigations are underway at the second farm after hens started showing signs of illness. 80,000 chickens, the culling of, is underway at the first farm. So we'll get an update from Andrew very shortly. What is going on? Hey, where I'm going to start though is the ACT Party has expressed strong opposition to the Nursing Council's new nursing competency standards. This might have slipped by you. You might have no idea this was going on. Well, let us tell you about it. It's set to be implemented on January the 20th, arguing they could compromise patient care and exacerbate challenges in attracting and retaining nurses. Health spokesperson Todd Stephenson has criticised the focus on cultural and Treaty of Waitangi-based competencies, suggesting that they could detract from core clinical skills and individual patient needs. Now, there are 6 pillars of this new standards, and after I've spoken to Todd, I will read them out fully because it will take a bit of time and Todd's waiting. But in a nutshell, they emphasise integrating te reo Māori, cultural safety, whānangatanga, which is relationships, evidence-informed nursing with traditional practices, mānakitanga, which is compassion, and leadership. Other examples include using tikanga Māori, advocating for cultural and spiritual health, and supporting alternative therapies like rongoa. ACT believes these requirements shift the nursing profession away from traditional values of skill and compassion and replaces them with expectations to adopt specific cultural viewpoints and practices. And ACT Health spokesperson Todd Stephenson joins me now. Todd, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Leah.
Well, Todd, these new nursing competency standards, they were set by the Nursing Council, correct?
Yes, that's right. There's 2 standards, one for registered nurses, which is the one you've just spoken about in your introduction, and then there's another standard for enrolled nurses, which is not quite the same but quite similar.
Oh, okay. So registered nurses don't have to go by this. It's just...
No, they do. No, that's the one you read out, I think, is the registered nurses one. And then there's one for enrolled nurses. So they're very, very similar. But we'll just talk about the registered nurses one.
So was this a surprise? Meaning, did this kind of come out of the blue? These 6 pillars?
Look, it was brought to my attention actually by some nurses contacting me, saying, look, this is what's being proposed, and then seeing some issues with it. One issue is that if you're an international nurse, and traditionally we've obviously tried to attract international nurses here, the way these competencies are being presented could be quite foreign, so it might be quite difficult to understand. And then secondly, some nurses that are in the profession just saying, really, what is this? You know, again, it's it's basically making people be viewed by race rather than need, which, as you know, is something that this government enacts against.
Yeah, look, and there are 6 pillars. I won't go through all of them with you, but there is one I've really raised my eyebrows at. I don't know how this has anything to do with a person in hospital that is wanting treatment for something. Nurses must be able to describe the impact of colonisation and advocate for cultural and spiritual health. Can you explain that one?
No, I can't. I mean, that was a shocking one to me as well. And in fact, and then you go look at the definition, there's 6 pages of glossary and references of a 14-page document. It gives a definition of colonisation, which is interesting, and it mentions a whole lot of stuff. Actually doesn't mention science in there once. The other thing, Leah, and you ran through the 6 in order, is the order is all wrong, right? I would have thought that evidence-informed nursing practices would be like the first thing that would be important, right? And so, yeah, there's so many things wrong with this document. It's hard to even know where to start, but it's just, it really is just viewing everyone through a race lens, where, nursing skills, I think, are fairly universal, right? Whether, you're a nurse from the Philippines or a nurse from New Zealand, there are we want people to have, really great nursing and healthcare skills and probably empathetic kind of personality, right?
Yeah, I mean, what message do you think it sends to? You've mentioned Filipino nurses, but what does that send to internationally trained nurses that may want to come and work here in New Zealand?
I think it would send the message that you have to completely understand, a lot to do with Te Treaty, culture, and that's the overriding message throughout this document. So unless you understand it, what that is, you're not going to be able to practice here, which I think is totally wrong. It's going to deter them in the long run. And I think also, as I said, some existing nurses are finding this overwhelming as well.
The inclusion of alternative therapies such as rongoa, which is traditional Māori medicine, it can include herbal medicine made from plants, physical therapy, techniques like massage, not therapy, but that's massage, spiritual healing. It has sparked debate, Todd. I mean, do you believe such therapies should have a place in evidence-based nursing practice?
Well, I think your last statement is the key one. What is the scientific evidence that they are delivering a health outcome? If there is some scientific evidence that they are delivering a health outcome, and again, we have to be obviously a specific treatment or technique, then maybe they do have a place. But just making it, just blanketly saying, they have a place, no, I wouldn't accept that. They have to be evidence-based.